This is a comparison of the trains in Scotland. Let's start off with the electric trains, and let's start off with the Juniper. Now usually I say Junipers aren't that interesting, especially since they got the same VF drive as the London Junipers, a Pendolino and a 1995 Underground train, which is a very boring sounding VF drive. But over time, these Scottish Junipers have seemed to have got rather knackered sounding. And while the VF drive might not sound that good, the actual sound of the motor itself is now very loud and very characterful. Fucking hell, this has got knackered since the last time I came here. Now along to the Scottish Hitachis. These trains are epic. The VF drive just sounds so good when it changes from pure PWM to pattern-based PWM. It's got the most epic changeover I've ever heard on a VF drive. Take a listen to this.
train is for Edinburgh Waverley.
Then, Scotland is still running some trains which have long since gone from London and most of the South East. So this actually felt a bit like going back in time, seeing some trains which I didn't think I'd actually see again, such as the 318, which is the Scottish version of the 313, 315, 317, and also the 320, which is the Scottish version of the 321. And interestingly, they actually run these trains together. You can have a 318 and a 320 in the same train set. That is weird. Let's start off with the 320. On this train, only the middle coach is powered, and it seems to have the same amount of power as the 319s, which are 4-car trains and are a bit slow. But the 320 is a 3-car train with the same power, so it actually feels like it goes a reasonable speed. 318, which on the inside looks almost identical, but on the outside you can see it's got the older 313 design. Take a look at the Scottish Desiro. Now Desiros aren't really the most interesting trains, they're very soundproofed, they're quite bland in some ways. The only interesting thing about them is they've got oscillating carrier frequency. Sadly though, I did not get much footage of these trains. That's because I was using the Central Scotland Rail Rover. The area this ticket includes is the east of Glasgow, then all the way across to Edinburgh, and even east of Edinburgh. But it doesn't include west of Glasgow. Like, that literally makes no sense. It's a ticket that gives you half of the city. And sadly, the Desiros were mainly running in the half which I didn't have access to. But let's just take a look at the price. £57 for 3 days. Meanwhile, in Germany, it's roughly the same price for a month in the entire country, which makes the Scotland ticket crap and overpriced by comparison. And now let's take a look at the Glasgow subway. Now this really makes you think of what the City and South London Railway used to be. Because when the Northern Line opened as the City and South London Railway, the tunnels were very narrow and they got widened in the 1920s. But the Glasgow subway didn't get widened, so the tunnels are tiny, which means the interior of the train is so small and you keep banging your head on the sides of the ceiling. Now sadly, the trains have been replaced with Stadlers, and although it's very characterful because of how unique it is, the Stadler trains do feel a bit cheap. And now let's take a look at the Intercity Hitachis, run by LNER and TransPennine Express. These go between Scotland and England. And now let's take a look at the last type of electric rail vehicle in Scotland, which is the Edinburgh tram.
This tram is for West End.
Thank you.
one other type of electric train. What the fuck is this piece of shit? Oh no, it's a fucking Pendolino. Fuck man, I'm not going on that shit. I fucking hate this train so much. It's so sound-oriented. You're very grounded. It feels like you're on an aeroplane. And the tilting is a complete gimmick. It doesn't really do that much of use, apart from just being really annoying. And also, the acceleration is very slow. And it's got a shitty Alstom Juniper VF drive. That is a lot of Tesco. So then, that's the electric trains complete. Let's now move on to the diesel trains. And let's start off with the TurboStar. About TurboStars is why is it a two-line display compared to Electrostars have one-line display? The control system is a different logic to the 171 and Electrostars because this has to interface with sprinters. And now let's take a look at a sprinter train.
These old sprinters always look so rough. Fucking hell, that looks knackered. Slam door brakes. Takes me back to my childhood.
And now let's take a look at the Express Sprinter. Also the Intercity 125, a train which almost everyone seems to like apart from me. I find these trains very boring because I just don't like trains with locos on the front, because to me I like a train where the engine or motor is underneath the carriage where you're sitting. When the engine's at the front, that means when you're actually in the carriages, it could be anything pulling you. You can't even hear the loco, you can't even see it. It's like bland. I never get it. I used to go on really long journeys on these when I was a child down to Cornwall, and to be honest, I just don't find them that interesting. Yet most train enthusiasts seem to think these are the best trains ever built.